You're watching iCarly.
iCarly. I actually binged the whole series.
Did you?
No.
I was gonna say there's this whole subplot that people talk about where it's like the actual story of the show is that Spencer abducted the kids and then Freddie's mom knows and they're trying to
This is why adults shouldn't watch children's television.
It's nuts, dude.
The mayor's first in.
Let's see. Let's go to my subscriptions.
iCarly. I don't know. Got a Surrender. Got a Build RV7. Mr. Khan himself.
You know who I would like to talk to? I would love to talk to the 5 Watt World guy.
Nah.
I don't know. I just feel like that guy gets it.
He's a robot. He's all AI.
He's a rabbit.
Nah, apparently he's really nice.
Yeah. He seems like a straight man, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'm just saying.
Thank you so much.
He seems.
He says this show makes his Wednesday.
What?
Which I appreciate. And I look forward to our Wednesdays.
I almost feel like it's unfortunate though too, because I'm like, we're ding dongs, dude. Crazy.
We're sorry that this is the best thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. But we're glad that you're here. I am.
Mary McChee says Keith is a super nice dude. Not just nice.
Not just nice.
Not just bad, super bad. Not just nice, super nice. He seems nice. He's very knowledgeable. I often watch Keith's videos when I'm trying to learn about things. And then when I talk about them on here, I'm like, oh crap, I can't say that just like Keith.
I wish he would get angry in his videos.
And throw some, turn the table over.
And then, you know what they did? They stopped making the Les Paul in 1960.
It's just, start flipping things.
He's losing his mind.
Breaking Epiphones. throwing UA pedals.
Sorry, it wasn't good enough for you, Les.
Have that effect where the screen cracks, he broke the camera lens, that would make me happy too.
And then
one of his guests, what's the guy, Jeff Magalane's Keith, no, calm down.
Relax. Then that camera just cuts and cuts right back to him in the chair, and he's like, so then they introduced the SG.
He's just shaking his head, acting like nothing happened. He's just straightening his collar. That would actually be great.
That'd be kind of dope. I
don't know why you make me act this way.
I think he should do that. That'd be amazing. That'd be awesome, dude. Halloween episode, he loses his mind.
Bill already says we got any gigs around Thanksgiving? Well, I got to go to old Indiana. And so that is the weekend before Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's the 21st through the 23rd. So, and then I actually do have a gig at Dugan's the day after Thanksgiving.
Day after Thanksgiving, huh?
The day after Thanksgiving.
Whoa. You mean the last waltz?
The last waltz.
We're last waltzing through Thanksgiving. I mean, at some point, I missed the last waltz for the majority of it the last few years. I feel like this year's going to be the year I'm going to make it.
To the last waltz?
I hope so.
Or you're going to make it. Like the year you're going to make it.
Here's the hoping.
When we look back to 2025, that was the year.
Grinding on some things, all right? We're making some magic happen. I've been getting excited. I've been making some weird sounds.
Tom says, why are all our names Instagram names? I wondered the same thing.
I don't know. That's kind of odd. But, I just assume maybe... I think YouTube's had a couple of updates.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Is Indiana a gig?
Indiana's a gig, yeah.
Indiana's a gig.
I'm playing someplace in Huntington, Indiana, with my dear friend Alan Craig Miller. Alan Miller. All right, go back to making some sounds. You were making some sounds. I came in last night. Sean was playing his old crazy harmony guitar.
I was trying to get some writing done.
Making some sounds through the car.
Sometimes you sit down and it's just it won't come, but it's forcing it's not going to help. So, you just got to get down to get down, As YouTube updates go, this is a shitty one. I agree. The names,
it is weird because most of them I'm okay, here you go. But
but now I'm having to kind of
wait a minute,
decipher through the BS to be able to say oh, that's who that is.
Chad B can't hear us over the crunching of his Cheetos.
Cheetos are good though.
Cheetos are good. You know what's really good? I mean, it's like Cheetos. Is those big, the metal tubs of cheese balls. Mm-hmm. The balls. It's got to be a ball for some reason.
Isn't it funny if you try to explain what a Cheeto is made out of to somebody?
I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, like, cause you could say, oh, well, it's like puffed corn, I guess. Like corn.
It's kind of weird. It's very close to like.
I mean, there's nothing that exists in nature that way.
No.
You know?
No.
And their shapes are like very haphazard, right?
Yeah.
It's like a cheese puff.
Yeah.
Also unnatural, but at least you're like, okay, all right.
Well, it's like a packing peanut at that point when it's the puff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's something oddly close to a packing peanut and a Cheeto puff. It's weird. I want to know how they got to the point where they puffed it versus when they had the crunchy ones, you know? Like, crunchy came first, right?
I guess.
Had to have.
This is where we need Keith from 5 Mile World. Yeah, well, back in 1937.
Whenever Lay's invented Cheetos, they're like, oh.
The new manufacturing plants had a byproduct of corn syrup, and they decided to make these things, and they were horrible. So they added artificial cheese to them. Tom says his cheese flavored balls of paper. I mean, yeah.
I used to eat Cheetos with chopsticks. The powder.
Listen, the one thing that you don't want if you got a gig and you can't wash your hands, like you're outdoor. Listen, I know that I'm probably like have some issues like OCD or something like that, but. If I got an outdoor gig somewhere and it's like the porta potties and there's no great way, I'm just like, man,
because that's disgusting. Dude.
It is disgusting.
It's gross.
I'm just saying, like anything. I just like to wash freshly washed hands.
Let me tell you something.
Before you start playing.
I like warm water before I play. Warm water on my hand. You know what I mean? Get them like where they feel like they're. You know that feeling like you've been playing for 30 minutes or so. I want that feeling immediately. I wash my hands.
If I was ever like stupid, like something happened, I won the lottery, I was stupid rich. I'd have one of those little like basins, little bowl. When I walk into my room to play, and I'd put my hands in there and I'd have a little, you know. It'd be amazing.
I'd have that in a pro hand. I would want it to be the naturalist heat I could get for my hands,
yes.
And I'm like. But yeah, no, I don't like feeling sweat or stickiness or anything. Before I play, I want it to be
perfect.
Like right now, my hands are perfect because
I did too. Because yes, that's right. So yeah, now would be there. Oh,
it's like
and I know I'm gonna get sweaty and it's gonna be nasty, but it's a clean sweat once it starts.
It is. Now, here's some insider trader information for you guys. When we went and saw Queens of the Stone Age, and I don't know if I told you about this, we were doing the sound check video and stuff and hanging out. And I feel bad. I shouldn't even put him out there like this. I mean, he does it live. Homeboy got up there with his guitar, strapped that thing on, and he was like, spit in his fucking hand, and then rubbed the neck. And he was like, and then they started sound check, and I was like, but in my head, I'm like, the spit dries though, and it gets like sticky. Like, doesn't it get tacky? That was my thought.
Maybe our spit content is not like when we were not hydrated enough. I don't know.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
That's a great point, actually.
Maybe the other half knows how to hydrate, so they're like, okay, we got this, you know.
I mean,
constant hydration.
I
don't
was
know.
like, man, I just feel like it's gonna get stickier. You know?
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it.
Ned said, "You never spit on that thing before." No, I mean, like I'll dab a little some onto a rag if I need to whenever I'm cleaning up the guitar or something like that, but never like, and playing. But maybe he is sick of the freeloaders playing his gear.
Oh, maybe Chad really does need more volume. I thought we were just joking about Cheetos.
How about that volume?
How about that sign of volume? This part, let's see.
You got any more juice in that box over there, JP?
You got any juice? Juices.
Juices, baby. JP's
like, damn it, I just sat down.
Yeah.
Have you ever played when your hands are beyond cold and the strings just hurt? I actually have played when my hands are cold like that, and it is very unpleasant.
Kind of like Jeff Beck and the baby powder.
It's like your hands stop working, you know?
Have you ever played when your hands are beyond cold and the strings just hurt?
I mean, the coldest I can remember playing was a February gig outside. There were barrels with fire in them. I was trying to wear the half glove thing, which never works great. You know, I had on 2 coats
Can't feel.
because it was like in the 30s, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you know.
We went to Asheville and went busking at 10 o'clock at night in December, which was the dumbest idea ever. And we were not wearing 2 coats. we were fucking freezing our asses off. And it was, no. That lasted all of about 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, that was tough. That felt rough on the fingers. I was like, wow.
I mean, like I remember on that gig, once you move enough, sort of, that your hands kind of start working, then you just gotta like kind of just go with it. But like trying to play anything intricate,
oh yeah,
like you know what I mean. Any
you
sort
do
of like
chords.
Chords not so bad.
Isn't it weird whenever your hands are that cold? For me, at least, I can't really feel the strings under my fingers.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm pressing them, but I can't feel them. I'm able to hear how well I'm pressing it, but that's it.
Ned said, there you go. If your hands are too cold, you can just spit in them. It's like peeing in your wetsuit. Also, if you wear a wetsuit, you can just pee in it. Well, there you go.
That's right.
I mean, you could do that. I like do the thing where, you just blow in your hands, and it's like all the hot air. Or you can just stick them down your pants like you do in football. That's why all the guys standing around with their hands in their pants at high school football games.
Yeah, I know.
It's disgusting.
No other reason.
Yeah.
No other reason. Sick.
What are you going to do?
Sick. All right. Chad's
Yeah.
good.
Chad's good. I was just going to say, Spark Ranch says he sweats no matter the temperature, and I usually do that as well.
Chad had a question for us here. He said, I'm going to get my 16-year-old cousin a rig for Christmas, but I'd like to keep it below maybe 1,000. Any recommendations? Well,
Sounds familiar.
we got a video coming out probably Monday, I would say, because we're trying to do some cool releases on Monday. There's also going to be some changes coming to the channel soon. It'll be good stuff, though. All good things. We're not changing anything major. But we're doing
everything.
It's all over.
It's all gonna change.
Jonathan's shaving. We're all gonna wear suits. It's about to get ruined. No, but we did a budget video that is like building a rig under $1,000.
Which, listen, it's a lot harder these days to build a rig.
Totally.
Like $1,000 is not what it once was. I mean, I'm not saying. No, and the other sort of caveat for that is we were obviously stuck to things that we carry in the shop, and we kept it out of used things because that can vary wildly. So
Yeah.
But man, I mean, it's tricky. I mean, you can go like lower end Squire, like the 289 kind of deal.
Yeah.
And in like a Champion 20,
Yeah. I think that you almost gotta keep some things in mind if you're doing that, right? Like if we as individuals, all of us on here, had to make that decision, people who already have guitars and stuff, right? If you had to do that, you'd have to keep in mind, like if you're gonna invest it towards your future rig, per se.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if you picked out a Gretsch, and I'm not spoiling too much here, right? You picked out a Gretsch. Well, let's say you like that, but you're not super thrilled with the sound. Well, you could save up a couple $100 and swap the pickups.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
That things like that it's like you could kind of expand on that and get some more squeeze out of it. You know what I mean? That's my thought.
I mean, it's just funny for like the whole rig like starting out, right? Yeah. Chad says, do we spend more on a guitar or an amp? Like in that scenario, you almost got to split it because
there's not many good amps.
There's very few
under $1,000.
like tube amp. I mean, there's lots of like modeling amp things.
Well, I was gonna say,
which is kind of the route that I went. But I mean, even some of those, man, like when you start talking $400 or $500, right, and that's half your budget.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say the stuff that is the things that are out there right now that are getting to that range are like the Marla amps. Those are all hand wired, point tube amps. I think his are tapping out right at the high 8s to 9s area. So if you're talking about $1,000,
I mean, at that point,
ain't got much left for a guitar.
You used to be like, a Princeton or something, but now those are well over $1,000. And so it's even the Vibro Champ, which you don't have to go tube, obviously. And there's probably companies like maybe like Black Star and stuff where you can get a little tube amp for less than that. But
I guarantee you, the only Fender tube amp you can get under $1,000 before or after tax, I'll say, is the
Pro Junior.
Pro Junior. Yep.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Which is, I actually like that amp, but it's basic. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting lots of different sounds or anything. You got louder or quieter.
It's realistically, you're almost better off at that point. I think going with some of the modeling amps or some of the choices you'll see us make in this video.
The Spark Brain says a Strat and a Boss Katana. I mean, you really couldn't. You could do a lot worse than that. The Katanas sound pretty darn good. They're cheap. Relatively, and then that lets you maybe be in that sort of like classic vibe Strat, which is a really good guitar.
Oh yeah. Now, and to what we don't really talk about in the video, and I think we're trying to make this into a series a bit, and tell me what you guys would think. What if we did this same theory, the same process with like the used market, and say like, well, what can I get for $1,000 on the used market? And we might have to. We probably obviously can't go out and just. I guess we could, but buy stuff off of like Facebook Marketplace and stuff. But you kind of add it up, and we could probably build that rig out of what we got at the shop to say, well, this is what this would sound like, Because like you could buy a Vox AC15 or a Hot Rod Deluxe on the Facebook Marketplace for probably $400 or $500. I'm not trying to put us out of business, but if you wanted to do those things, I would say that's probably your best bet. If you wanted more bang for the buck, you can get it on the used market that way.
I mean, Christopher says he paid $1,200 for a brand new PRS in '97. I feel like in '97, I would have thought like $1,200 for a guitar was like the way I feel about $5,000 now. You know what I mean? Like it was just like holy crap. You know what I mean? Like that was so unattainable. Yeah. It is funny, just in my lifetime, like the difference in value for $1. Yeah. Because I mean, when I started driving, gas was like 89 cents a gallon. You know what I mean? It was like holy shit. I mean, it was just a lot different.
Oh yeah, no. Like,
it's just a lot different.
The whole landscape has changed by a fuck ton.
I don't feel like I'm old, but I guess I'm getting old in my 40s, and I it's just, it is crazy because that was, in my brain, that was a super high-end guitar back then.
What was minimum wage around that time? Do you remember, was it 7 1/4?
No, I feel like it was less than that.
Because I was going to say, I feel like you witnessed minimum wage truly like where you could live on a minimum wage job just barely, to now it's like, oh yeah, no, you need like 4 minimum wage jobs just to survive. Minimum
wage just hadn't, I mean, not to get into all this crap, but minimum wage just hasn't gone up with inflation. Like it's risen a hair, but and I'm sort of in that mindset that like you probably, minimum wage jobs really should be like shit for like you're flipping burgers like in high school, and then you go, you move up, but still, like 7 1/4 is like nuts. You know what I mean? It is like zero. That's like zero. It might as well be zero.
We're gonna start you out at minimum, and then we'll see how you're doing.
You just look at the price of cars or like the price of houses, and it's like,
no way, dude.
Whew.
Yeah.
And then you think of old Al Bundy working at the shoe shop with his 2-story house, only one working, supporting his family of 4.
Sitcoms.
Every time I see that meme, I'm like, damn it, what has happened? We've fallen.
Yeah. Sitcoms
the West is fallen.
Really, really fuck with your head because it's like Friends,
Well, yeah.
Bitch, you work at a coffee shop,
and you got this badass apartment in New York City,
huge apartment
with this great view of the,
Yeah,
and you're like, oh yeah, right there in Central Park. But
it's crazy how we got this.
Bro, it was weird. We just got lucky. We all got lucky.
You can just like fuck off.
Turns out all their parents are super rich.
That's what it is. Oh, yeah. That's the secret.
Well, that's the secret. The secret to life.
No. This is normal. Trust me.
You guys don't do this. But I mean, all those memes do get me when it's like, it shows Al Bundy sitting there and he's like, he was, poor and fat in the 90s. Like, dang it.
Yes.
Darn you, Al Bundy.
I always was so confused at that show because I watched that show a shit ton in like middle school. Because in the morning they would play reruns on TBS or TNT or something like that. And I would watch it and I was always confused because I was like, his wife wants to fuck him all the time, but he seems miserable. Like he's like, oh god,
like, that's pretty hot,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? He's like, not this again. I'm like,
and then some neighbor's a supermodel or something, and he's like, oh okay, well, wow, all right. You're like, well, this is just sad. It's just sad.
Yeah, it is sad. I'm like, what the hell?
It's just sad.
Al.
Now, Ed Schner wants to know the farthest we've traveled
For a gig.
for a gig.
I guess for me it'd be Nashville, which is funny because it's not like that far from us, but I mean it's 8 hours.
8 hours away.
Hell, you've been all over.
Well, it just depends, man. Because like a one-off gig is hard to travel forever, but if you got, there's a lot of factors, right? Usually these days, if I'm traveling for a gig, it's like I'm going to play guitar for someone. Like when I go to Indiana, I'm going to play guitar in my. I'm going to do some songs in the show, but mostly I'm just playing guitar for Alan, like in the band. But and that's kind of an odd, not an odd thing, but not a normal thing. But
Did the Alaska
like
thing.
if I go with Robbie, I've gone to Alaska's pretty far.
Which I thought that to me is like, that's probably the coolest thing because how many opportunities do people get to do that? Like major artists don't even.
And I saw some really cool spots in Alaska that you just probably wouldn't see. Yeah. That's pretty far from here to Alaska. I mean, when I was younger, and these were mostly like sort of like church sort of ministry things, but I was going to Europe a lot. But like, I don't know, in Nashville, I think I counted at one time that I'd played in 37 states. 37 of the states. So, and probably a few more now since going to Alaska and stuff. But
cut out the bullshit, you know what I mean?
I don't know. So I've traveled
Cut
pretty
out
far.
them bullshit states.
Music has afforded me, not to be too poetic or philosophical, but music has let me see most of our lovely country in Europe, and lots of fun places that I probably would not have ever gone to see.
Yeah.
Like my father's never been on an airplane, so I'm doing pretty good.
I was gonna say that was like for me
okay.
When we went to California, I was like, this is new territory, dog.
Yeah, and I mean he has no desire to be on an airplane, mind you, or to leave his little the footprint of his farm. But I've traveled a bunch, and I would not have been necessarily from my family history predisposed to that. Like nobody's like traveling or going on crazy trips or.
I was gonna say I think
not well traveled.
We have a kinship and that stuff where our families are very similar in the like if they're going somewhere, it usually is not willingly. It is like shit, Now I will say my grandfather, he's oddly enough, if it deals with hunting, he's gone. Like he's been to Africa 2 times. He's went up to Maine. They recently went to Alaska. They went on an Alaskan cruise. Which growing up, if you would have asked me like. You think he'll have? It's like, no, hell no.
That's cool though, That's cool.
No.
I could see my dad, like, he's mellowing.
Yes.
He's starting to do some things. I could see him being like, I could see him letting me drag him somewhere. Yes. He's not making the plans.
No.
But like,
isn't it
he
funny?
let me drag him somewhere.
That generation specifically, like, and I'm sure your dad said this because I know my grandfather, my uncle even says this. I would talk to him and be like, yeah, well, you don't ever want to go to Nashville. The hell's for me there?
Hadn't lost nothing there?
Exactly. Verbatim is what the hell would be said.
My papa, my dad's dad, would say, like, because, he had done a little bit, we wouldn't consider it traveling, but, like for work stuff, because he worked for John Deere tractors for a little while, and he'd say, I've eaten at tables all up and down eaten at places all up and down the East Coast, and none are better than my own table right here at home, And it was kind of sweet, like talking about his wife. Yeah. But and Christy always thought that was super sweet. Yeah. But I was like, but also, you complain about it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's this two-sided.
It was a different time though, because my grandma just cooked every single day.
Yeah, dude.
And for 20 people every Sunday because they had 11 kids. And there was always, you didn't know who was coming. You didn't have to call and be like, I'm coming. You just got there and there was food everywhere,
Yeah, my grandma is the same way. She'll they might do pizza or something.
Well, but these weren't people with lots of money. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like they were not like cash money rich, you know what I mean? But
that's just what you do.
But they just had, if you were hungry and you were around, there was always food.
Man told me this once. He's the AutoZone parts delivery guy down at the boat shop. And his name was Mac. He lived up in New York for 20 or 30 years. And he always told me, he was like, man, you gotta go. You're gonna go up there. He's like, you ain't ever coming back. So we talk. And he said, you know what the difference between the North and the South is? And I said, no, what's the difference, Mac? And this is like an older black guy, just so you all know. Not that that necessarily matters. He lives fondly in my heart, though. Anyways, he said the difference between the North and the South is up North, everybody will give you money. But in the South, everybody will give you food. And he was like, and the two do not mix. You go up north, ain't nobody giving you food. You go over to somebody's house and they're cooking dinner, they're like, what you want? Get out. You know? They'll pay you money to leave. But down here...
Here's $5. Well, here, like, people even see somebody, like, kind of asking for money.
Yeah,
they'll go and get them some food. But
Yes.
Because the thought process is, right, well, they're going to use that for drugs. That's so, you bring it. I'll get you a cheeseburger or whatever. I mean, yeah.
I'll get you whatever the hell you want. Yeah.
Dude, this is not funny, per se, but it was odd.
Yeah.
It was odd. So I don't remember what day this was. That might have been Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Monday. No, it had to be the weekend. It was the weekend because my wife's parents were here, and we had anyways, it was just me, Christy, and the kids in my truck. We go by Sonic because it's like the happy hour, and they love that dirty Diet Dr. Pepper is what Christy loves, and the kids got like the dirty Sprite, which I think the whole thing is nasty. And the kids do too, because then I find them in my truck where they barely have half a sip, and I'm like, well, thank God it was like 80 cents for happy hour or whatever, you know what I mean? And then so we get the drinks, and then it's like, can we get a drink at Sonic? And then if somebody wants cheese sticks, and then blah, blah, before you know it, you spend all this money. Yeah. There's a dude like digging through the trash can hard, looking rough, you know what I mean? Not asking anybody for money, but digging through the trash can.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, that sucks, And my son, super big, both my kids, right? So there's like a sale on the corn dogs, It's like, they didn't give me the sale, but so I bought 2 corn dogs. Could have bought him anything. Anyways, I get 2 corn dogs to this dude. Pull around, he's disappeared. He's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, man, that sucks, Yeah. So whatever, no big deal. We got 2 corn dogs. So we pull out, and then I kind of see the dude walking down the highway. So I pull into this next little gas station, and I tried to yell at him out the window. I was like, hey man, want some corn dogs? Didn't hear me. I chalked it up to, well, he's walking down the highway. It's kind of like it's a busy road right there. So pull over. He walks into this gas station, starts looking through the trash again.
Yeah.
So I'm parked. I walk over to him. I was like, hey, man, thought you might, enjoy some corn dogs. Dude just doesn't even look up from digging in the trash. And I was like, excuse me, sir. I was like, hey, man, I thought you might be hungry. Got you some food. Doesn't even, I am not even there like a zombie. And I was like, well, this is kind of starting to creep me out, right? He's super dirty. And then I'm literally putting him on his hand because his hands are in the trash can. I am not there, dude. Never. And then I almost set it down in the trash can for him to just get.
Yeah.
But I was like, he just seemed gone. And I was like, man, it was very, I was like, I don't know why I started telling the story. But dude, it was so sad. And I was like, oh. But I didn't feel like it was very zombie-like. And
no, there's, we got a couple of those around here. Like the lady who sits on the corner across from the Arby's usually. You know what I'm talking about? I bumped into her at Sheetz, and I tried, something similar kind of happened in that vein. But she was just like I'd look at her and was like, hey, how's it going? And she's just like, I'm like, fuck. It sucks. It's sad, I don't know, man. It's fucking rough.
But same thing, right? I probably wouldn't give a dude like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've never given anybody money because I have, but I would be much more that's why I started talking, because we're talking about that. But if I see a dude starving in the trash can,
yes,
I would rather just buy you, here, hey, have a meal. At least then I know you ate.
I'm the same. I am very much.
I don't know what he was looking for, but it literally there was obviously a mental thing going on. Yeah, someone, I don't know. I also probably wouldn't take random corn dogs from a stranger. I'd be like, what the hell's in these fentanyl-laced corn dogs? Huh?
Gotcha, bitch.
You thought you got me.
Oh, man. I don't like it.
But anyways.
Oh, nice.
Anyways.
His keys? That was rough.
I mean, I have done that too. I throw my keys away in the gas station.
Yeah.
And then, have you never done that?
Nah. Let me go grab my tissue. I've never done that.
I've done that because I had a bunch of trash in my hand and my keys because I'm an idiot, and then dropped it all, and then realized I threw the keys in there. Gordon said you soaked the corn dogs in LSD. I maybe think that he already had some LSD soaked corn dogs, and maybe that was the problem. Ed wants to know, is Southern cooking spicy? It could be, you know. I personally cannot get enough of the old jalapenos and pretty much anything. In my family, we grow a lot of peppers, so it could be spicy.
Jalapenos
And all sorts of different little things. My cousin he got into growing the Carolina Reapers there for a minute. And they were nice and spicy. Brian says he enjoyed watching Jonathan at Pinehurst Brewery so much I brought him a beer too. It did show appreciation. I appreciated it greatly. A few of you folks have come to see me and brought me beers, and I always appreciate it. Con and his lovely wife always feed me and, make sure I drink plenty and do all. And then they're roadies. Then they help you load out. You're like, wow, that's how you spoil a man. Did your grandma pickle habaneros too? My grandma pickled all sorts of things. If it could be pickled, I feel like she pickled it. So yeah, yes, yeah, lots of pickling.
I mean, pickled beets are really good. Pickled eggs. I throw down with some pickled eggs, dude. Straight up.
You know that little bubbly child. If you're not following the little bubbly child thing on Instagram, which I've been seeing them on Facebook a lot too, then you're missing out because they're hilarious. And there's the one where he's got the old man trying to ask the Alexa to order pickled eggs. It's great. So yeah. Anyways, it's pretty great. Mayor McChee says more than food or anything, folks on the street need to be seen. Just treat them like a person and let them feel human. I think there's a lot of truth to that. That's probably true for just about everybody, right?
Yeah.
People just want to feel like somebody has seen them.
I agree.
So there you go.
I agree.
There you go.
What's been going on in the guitar world? We were talking to Baxter about this, and it's like there's not much news out there.
I'll tell you what I have enjoyed this week in the guitar world, and it was an unlikely source. I don't always enjoy. He seems like a fine human being, but I don't always enjoy the music is win content.
Yeah.
But I have sort of enjoyed the new podcast with Jared James Nichols.
Yeah,
they're like a good balance to each other.
Yeah, well, I feel like it straightens him out enough. Like
it does.
I think he's a little too wacky. That's just my take. Not that and
that's just subjective, right?
Yeah.
That's just that's some people's personality, and some people love watching that, and it's not necessarily my favorite thing. But like I said, seems like a good dude. He's a good player. He and Jared James, sweet JJ
Nichols, baby.
Ever since we've seen him cradle Baxter in his arms like a little baby,
it's a sweet man.
You're like, oh, we love JJ. And speaking the truth about the old Dumbles, but whatever. We won't get into that.
Straight up. I forgot about that.
Good God.
Said it. Yeah, he is like.
Look at that smile. That's a genuine smile right there. He did let it rip. Like, damn.
I was like, man, what do you think about Clapton?
Whoa. Anyway, so Jared James and Tyler, Music is Win, have got Joe Bonamassa, the Tone King himself. And it is actually, because it's just the three of them sitting there talking. And I've really enjoyed that interview. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it.
Yeah.
But
I need to watch it. I've seen clips.
Even if you think you don't love Joe Bonamassa, and you're not going to love him more, but the talk is interesting. There's a lot of modeler hate. Jared James Nichols tells a really funny Kemper story about this dude makes some music Kemper on a gig because his amps go down, and the guy's like, don't worry, I got your sounds. I've been watching you. I've been listening to you, and I got it all dialed in for you. And I'll let you guys watch it, but it doesn't go amazing. Doesn't go amazing at all. And then, Joe Bonamassa's talking about it.
I wouldn't have figured that. That's cool.
Well, he said that, you can watch it, but
I'm going to watch it now.
He said he was worried about it, right?
Yeah.
And he said, got there, and he said, don't worry. And he said, he told the guy, he's like, man, I don't know how these things work, and I'm a little nervous about this. Like, I'd maybe just rather rent an amp, or grab an amp from somebody. Yeah. He's like, no, man, don't worry. I got it all programmed for you. It's all ready to roll. And he said, okay, it's going to be in the monitor for you. And he's like, okay, all right. He said, they start, and it's like ice picky. He's like, because the monitors aren't great.
Yeah.
Right? And so he says that he gets the guy, he's like, pump up the mids, trebles down, And he's like, it's doable. And he says, let's start playing a song or two. And he's like, okay. This is okay. I mean, it's not amazing, but he's like, this is going to get us through this gig. They're in New Orleans, you know? And he said, I don't know if it was halfway in or a few songs in, not very long into the set, somebody steps on the power cable and undoes the Kemper. And he's like, he's got nothing. And he's like, the band's just playing. And he says, the sound guy's looking at him like, what's up? And he's like, your thing. He's like, sir, your machine has stopped working. He says, so the guy comes over. And he's like, it's no big deal. He just plugs it back in. He's like, but Jared James Nichols says something about looking like an old like VCR with no power or something, you know. And he says he plugs it back in. And it just says loading. And it starts doing the little bar, and he's like, holy crap. So he's waiting, and he said when it came back on, it was just like a DI. Like, no amp sound anymore. So then the guy's got to like try to reprogram it like quickly. And I don't know anything about Kempers, so I don't know what's really happening. So I don't know if that's how they really work, really, because I've used them, but I've never owned one.
I'm assuming he probably has to go find the preset, is what
Well,
I'm
you do.
assuming.
Like, the only time I've used it, they had a giant thing of presets for me on the computer, and I clicked it, and it was literally connected to the thing, you know? Because it was a studio scenario, the only time I've ever really used one much in depth. And but he said that's the downside. But Bonamassa was talking about how exponentially the cost to be on the road has risen.
Yeah.
The last, few years. And he was saying that, a lot of people will do it because they can stick it on their front of their gig bag.
Yeah.
And then that's their rig.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you're a sideman, he's like, it makes sense because then you got all the sounds. He's like, but,
yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, that is, it makes the most sense for stuff like that. I still think I would probably go the pedal route of having like an amp pedal.
That's my favorite, right? Like that's why I like the Tonex. I like the UA pedals.
Yep. That's Soma 63, which y'all see Monday. What I do with that to me, it has a cool touch thing.
So that is like a tweed, like a brown face amp, right?
Yeah.
But any IRs in that? So you'd almost need like an IR loader, right?
Yeah.
Or some kind of like just pedal platform amp. You know?
Something that could handle it. I mean, that's. Yeah, I mean, you'd go with like the Boss IR, I guess, or something. I'd want something that maybe had a reverb to it. That would be the only thing.
There's a lot of different IR loaders now, that you could just use as that and use something else, your amp or your preamp.
Isn't it funny? You would think, especially because of that rising touring cost, there's not many venues that backline anymore. At least I don't think. I'll tell you this, whenever we've, playing out all throughout North Carolina at like the punk shows or anything in any of these clubs and stuff, there's no backline. If there is a backline kit, it's another band's thing. It's rare that you have a house rig that is just. It's just odd to me. You would figure they would have at least like Hot Rod Deluxe bass amp, drums.
I used to see like house kits, like drum kits, the shell kit, there, and then you bring your cymbals and your snare. Used to see that a fair amount at certain clubs. There were lots of places in Nashville that used to kind of have some backline because, and not even like downtown, like House of Blues, if you were playing there on Broadway in Nashville, they were like sponsored, so they had like third power amps, you know what I mean, and a drum kit and a bass amp, and being on the road at places, I've always the drum kit is about what you can expect sometimes a bass amp, but unless it's a festival kind of thing, where everybody's flying in and they're backlining it to help with changeover.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, it would be cool. But.
I just view that as like. I don't know, because then I imagine you're getting paid $1,000 a gig, right? And in this situation, that let's say normally you ask $1,500, but let's say you're going to be on the road and all the venues that you book out, they all say, yeah, we've got a Fender, we got either a Princeton or a Deluxe, or a Hot Rod Deluxe.
Right.
All the way up the coast or wherever you're going. They say, what we're going to do is we're going to pay you $1,250 because we're going to backline the amps and stuff.
I mean, if you are to the point where you got a rider, like a contract, you could literally say that. You can say, hey, I want to have A, B, C amps there, know what I mean? Give them 1, 2, 3 choices and let them get it from a backline company, and also that depends on the market you're playing in. Because if you're in a fair-sized city, there is a backline company, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not,
yeah.
Like here, we're lucky we have that just because we got us and we got the Sunrise and there's a few like artsy things. So there is an actual backline company here besides just Casino Guitars, but there's definitely places where that would not be
Yeah.
You know, now I've done the thing before where I have flown to like the West Coast from Nashville, and then like the first gig in Washington State or like in Oregon, rent the back line, tour with it the whole time, and then drop it back off before we fly.
Yeah.
To the next spot. You know, like I've done that, and that's kind of smart. That's because then you don't have to worry about flying with all your crap.
No. Yeah.
I've done private gigs, dude. I did a private gig from Nashville to South Dakota, South or North Dakota, one or the other. And this dude was like, they just saw us playing on Broadway. They're like, we want you to come for some kind of party. I don't know if it was his birthday or what, but
Yeah.
he's like, I'll have everything. He's like, I'll rent guitars. He's like, I'll rent everything. He's like, you guys just get on the plane. I'll play for the plane tickets. And we did, dude. We got there, and then he met us at our hotel. There were like amps and guitars laid out on the bed in the freaking hotel to pick. They were pretty cool. And we were like, all right, this is fun. And then literally went and played this dude's party.
Yeah.
Hung out for a day, and then flew home the next day. I was like, okay,
That's pretty dope.
That was kind of awesome. Yeah.
I like that.
So, anyways.
I like that.
I mean, but let's see. Somebody was saying, oh yeah. Spark Graham said, I play live with a Fender Tone Master Pro and an FR10. The FR10s, the flat response speakers are a bit of a game changer with the modelers. You know what I mean? Like, they make them sound better. I guess my question is always, if you're going to the trouble of bringing that,
Why not just...
at that point you're back to having an amp, right? Because you're not silent stage anymore, you know what I mean? But I do get that you could have it programmed and have all the sounds, and I agree that the Tone Master Pro sounds really good. In fact, I just did another solo for that band May Shell, you know, and I snagged the Tone Master Pro from here and actually tracked it. And then by the time I had tracked it, I was like, oh, this sounds really good. I'm just going to leave. This is what I'm using. And I sent it to him, and it sounds great.
Yeah. I personally, for me, I think it's weird to me whenever people, and I know that you get this because you even carry around 2 amps sometimes. It's weird to me whenever people complain about, oh, I gotta carry this big amp, or I gotta do this or do that. I'm like, that's a part of the job. I don't know. Like, fuck, you know, you don't see the guy on the side of the road digging a ditch being like,
this
shit,
damn
I had
shovel.
to bring these fucking shovels with me.
Well,
everywhere I go."
it's always older guys, and I feel like they have to say it tongue in cheek, man. I just can't lug that around. Well, like, here's the thing about that, right? Like, no gig that any of these people are playing is like a super reverb gig or a twin gig or a Marshall gig. You know what I mean? It's a Princeton gig. I would
argue for both of us probably. How many times have you needed more than 40 watts? Even
probably never in my
playing
life.
on a big ass stage.
Because I don't play in places like we have both been born since the invention of the modern PA.
Yes. Yeah.
Where there's a mic in front of every amp you'll ever play.
Yes.
So you could, as long as you don't mind hearing it in the monitor.
Yes.
You can play any amp you want now.
Yes.
Live at any level in any size place. Now, if you're depending on it for stage amp, that changes the game. And I think most of us, myself included, like the stage volume to hear it from the amp. Yeah. But there's really few times where like my M80, which is 45 watts, where I needed anything more than that.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's a big, loud fucking amp, too.
Something like that, or an AC30. A twin is still too loud and clean. Because you just want it to break up, right? Well, now, I have been in a scenario where a deluxe reverb was not enough.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in one where I had my deluxe reverb, like, cranked, and I was like, damn, I cannot hear this.
I've seen, like, the Super B right there.
Yeah.
I've seen situations where we tried to do that down at the Rooster one night, and it doesn't function. You know, it can't stand up. It couldn't stand up against the M80, you know?
Oh, yeah, no.
It's literally just a horsepower thing at that point, right?
Well, it's having it's having the headroom to have the dynamics.
Yes.
Right? Like, because you'd rather have the headroom and then roll back than have it just all falling apart where you got it dimed, you know what I mean? If you got it dimed, cool, but you want it to have enough that you can, like, bring it back and only roll that in when you want.
But nonetheless, I guess what I was building on to earlier, and I'm thinking about this as I'm getting ready and gearing up to maybe play some shows here in the near future, in the next couple months, is taking a rig with me that's going to be a little obnoxious, but it's for the sound, and it's like, well, fucking, so what? Like, I don't know. I don't want to look back in 30 or 40 years and be like, oh, I I never wanted to take all that shit out, and you know, what's the point of having all this shit then?
See, I enjoy taking the shit out because I'm like, hell yeah, I'm using this
this
stuff
is the point,
that I
dude.
like busted my ass to get. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the bucket list stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I want to take it out.
This is why. It's why you play your custom shop.
I
It's
get
why,
sad if it's just sitting in my house and I'm just playing. I'm like, man, no, I want to get it out.
Dude.
You know, Con says, any update on your new music, Jonathan? Yes, I actually got a message from our dear pal 89 Mo last night that he's working on it. And so
Boom, baby.
I should be getting the freshly mixed and mastered tracks here pretty soon, and then I'll figure out putting them out. But no, I'm very excited about those. So thank you for asking. And then Bovington Bertie says people don't take 2 amps. They have valves, right? Every time I turn it on, it's a gamble. I often take not a backup amp, but one of these little evil modelers we're talking about, because I've got a UA, the Woodrow thing, and I've got a little Tonex pedal, so I'll throw one of those in so that if the amp dies or it doesn't come on or whatever, because the tubes are finicky, I got an option, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And definitely if I'm traveling somewhere and they got an amp, I'll take it. Even if they got an amp for me, I'll take that as a backup.
You know, it's a little disappointing. A lot of modern soundboards have amps as like effects and presets in them, you know? So you can add it on if you're going DI. I just think that there's a lot of sound guys that probably don't do that because they don't care to think about it or ever pay attention to that, or they're not guitar players. In my head, I'm like, the least you could do if a man gets there and his amp blows up and he's running out is like, because I mean, I got enough pedals on my board that I could get like a really cool drive sound. But if I'm going DI, like, just make sure that I'm hitting something that is going to react, or at least have like a...
Sounds great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know...
I've had that happen to me 1 or 2 times before modelers were a thing, where it was just like overdrive pedals, and God, dude, it sounds so bad.
Oh, yeah,
like DI into a DI box.
You know.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
I'm like, cut the high end out
and
some,
you just do the best you can do.
Mid it up, but I don't feel like...
You do the best you can do. I mean, Mighty Woodrow, that's our man. He says, you'll never hear me bitch about lugging a 412 anywhere. You know?
Exactly.
There
now,
you go.
Is it insane? Sure, but you know what? Sometimes you got to be a little insane. This is music we're talking about. This isn't, you know, dentistry.
Basil Tiffany says, don't overlook speaker sensitivity. Put a speaker with 101 or 102 dB sensitivity, and that mofo is going to be with it. I mean, that is actually... Speakers just make a huge...
Massive difference.
You know, they just do.
Yeah. I wasn't necessarily a firm believer in that until I did that Magnetone swap with mine to that Alnico speaker, and then just playing different speakers and being like, damn, okay, it's crazy.
What is Tom says, I would never want guitar tone to be determined by my monitor mix. Want more guitar, vocals will suffer. Do you mean like don't have the guitar in the monitor and hear the amp? Because I'm with you on that.
Yes. We've talked about that before, where it's like the size of the room should dictate whether or not you put it in the monitor, you know, or put it in the mains mix, I guess I should say, not monitor. But like at the Rooster, that room, I mean, I'm talking like enough for there to be a little bit of an effect on the overheads. That was it. Because I was like, you might as well have the amps loud enough that they can be heard, and let me pretend like the vocals need to sit up in these mains, and that is their amp. So it's like you're getting a mix of the stage. The drum kit's fucking loud enough. I think that
it's so rare that you
people,
really need much drums in your...
Dude.
Well, and like, I'm all a fan of... Like, I want to hear everything.
Yes.
But I don't want everything cranked to my monitor.
No.
Right? Like,
well,
it's the things I need to get over the stuff on the stage.
Yes.
Like, I want the vocals in my monitor.
Yes.
And that's about it most of the time. Every now and then, if the bass is way over there and I can't hear them, a little bit. But if there's an acoustic guitar, like, that is leading... Listen, if they're just holding the acoustic guitar for shits and giggles, you know, because they don't know what to do with their hands, I don't want it. But if it's, you know... Yeah. If it's people who really are playing and leading like a song, then I want it, right? Because it might be queuing off of it. But otherwise, because like here's the thing, like Tom, thank God that Tom said this, because that's why, again, I know that Tom is probably a really good sound guy. I never get the sound guys who are like, turn your amp down, and then you do it, and then they crank the shit out of your like piercing now through a shitty monitor speaker tone back at you, and it's twice or 3 times as loud as your amp ever thought about being.
Yep.
And then now, like, I can't hear the vocals over that.
And
The person singing, if it's not me, needs
Yes.
more. It's like, that is ridiculous.
it's the shittiest mix ever. To where
it's unpleasant. It's
yeah,
like, oh my god.
If instead, if you viewed the PA
Yeah.
as the monitor mix and the main mix as your vocal amplifier, and then anything else can just kind of ignite itself. Down at the Sunrise, the drums down there, I don't think they ever need to be mic'd. If they needed to be, here's what I think you mic. You mic the kick, you mic the snare, and you can put up an overhead.
The fat things.
Yes.
You want, not because what we end up a lot of times at Sunrise with certain people is just the cymbal wash.
Yes.
And that's what you hear of everything
And
else.
it's like, well, thank fuck that you mic'd it to hell so that you can have all this control. Whenever you have drummers that get up there and hit hard enough and are well versed enough to give the room the sound that it needs. That is such a mind fuck.
See,
sometimes.
Tom says that's guitar audio through a horn driver. Exactly. And it sounds like ass. It will
Yes.
always. They're like, you don't want yourself in your monitor. And I love it when I hear the good sound guys who are like, they know it. They know like the deal. They're like, yeah, man, give me a little more guitar. And it's like,
Yes.
oh, it's amazing. Those gigs are amazing. You know?
Guitar amps, in my opinion, should at least be at 3. At least. I don't think there's a room on the fucking face of the planet, if you are playing with a live drummer, that the amp cannot at least be on 3.
Yeah, and I mean, for different amps, right? Like, that's a good average of where the sweet spot where it kind of comes alive is.
Yes.
You
It's
know,
at
and it's
least
different for
on-
different amps, but yeah.
But, like if we're talking about a magnetone, call it 9 o'clock because they got the
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
knob,
yeah,
right?
right.
But that 3 to 4 area is the bare minimum, in my opinion. Because if you got a drummer, they'll be able to contest with it. Your live sound should be able to go with it. I mean, now listen, I know I'm not, we're talking about different wattages and stuff like that. It makes a huge difference. But you know what I'm saying.
Our pal Greg says, I can't really use amps at my gigs, which I understand that. Like, I you know, and so that makes total sense. He says, I have a Tonking Imperial preamp. That, I still think that seems like that would be probably the way to go.
The Milkman stuff looks good.
But he says, I have backups already on the board, or the HX Stomp and the UA line. I have the original power supplies in my backpack of my board. See, I mean, that's just smart. That's just a man who's played a lot of gigs.
Yeah.
Who knows it? And you know what? They'll probably never mess up, but the day you take those 2 extra things off, done.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
Hey, Tom's got a question for you. He said, Jonathan, do you use in-ear monitors? How does guitar sound through those to you?
I have used in-ear monitors, and I do use in-ear monitors from time to time, depending on the gig. I've had the whole range of absolute god-awful to wow. This is pretty pleasant and good. But I will say that I'm always the guy who ends up taking them out, because if I can hear everything balanced, right? Like, I don't even necessarily, unless it's one of those situations where like the line array is way in front of me and there's like a really obvious, I play a note and then I hear it out there, which happens sometimes. I'd rather just hear the sort of the house tone, and I end up having a more pleasant time. You know what I mean? Because I don't need to hear. I just need to hear the rhythm and know where I am. You know what I mean? And but I have had those gigs where I had to keep the ears in the whole time because of that, or it's a totally silent stage, or some ridiculous thing. And like I said, I've had the gamut of pretty darn good all the way down to God, I hate this. I won't say I've ever had like extraordinary guitar tone in in-ear monitors.
No.
But
I think by design, you're not gonna.
Well, it comes down to 2 things for me, and Thomas probably answered. I'm not looking on purpose because then I'll see what he says. But it's ambient room mics. You know what I mean? And then it's also having a dedicated engineer to having that in-ear monitor mix who like knows what they're doing. Is who really, and it's even better if you got the same dude every night. And I've had that scenario a few times. But
I could see that being a complete game changer.
well, because then you can talk about it and work on it, and you know what I mean. You can figure it out and get it from sounding so like flat. Because you know what I mean. That's where the room mics, I guess, kind of come in. But
and that goes to like sound in general. I think there is something in it. I almost wish, and it's impossible to ask this, but you would expect that whoever is running sound or doing monitor mixes or in-ear monitor mixes is a musician. So they're able to understand what you would probably want that to sound like, to feel it, I guess.
Let's see what Tom says.
Some in-ear monitors have holes to allow outside sound to enter.
Yeah, and those are cool. And you can just break the seal a little bit too, but I actually almost bought a pair of those, the ported ones with the let the outside, the ambient, whatever you call them, the Westtones that do that. And honestly, I just right before I bought them, I went sort of back to a scenario where I was not using them enough that it felt like it really warranted it, because I use them pretty rarely now.
Yeah.
And when I do use them, I can usually the last few gigs where we were on in-ear monitors, I didn't even really sound check with them very much, because it was the deal where like you mixed it yourself on the phone, and I was like, screw this. So I just had them like hanging over my shoulders the whole gig, and I'm just like, they're like, did your monitors get? I'm like, yep, because I could hear everything in the house, those are.
We got to hang on. Pause on the play.
Pause
on the play. I'm gonna say that this single dad T9V9G guy is not real. So nobody's sending money. Don't respond to a PayPal. That's insane. Yeah, there you go. JP's handling it. That I just wanted to let anybody know, because I know you guys are so sweet, and you are the kind of people that would probably go out and be like, man, here's $20. Don't worry about it.
If it was a real name and the name wasn't Single Dad.
Single Dad, yeah. Like, yeah, that was funny.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
That was funny. Get a better job. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sweet.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, there are people in here who I could see being like, I heard if you go on north,
even me, I'm like, my God, I hope they get home. I mean, but yeah, no. Sadly, the sad thing is it's not.
Single dad, do you live in the north? Send me address for corn dogs.
If I was there, I'd get you a corn dog. I'm sorry.
I love it.
The thing is, like, and I used to be so bad about like I'd fill their gas can up, and then you see them like. They're like, you're going back to Boston or somewhere, and then you see them like a week later asking the same thing. I gotta get back to blah blah. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you went back to Boston last fucking week. You're still here. Yeah, no.
Yeah. We got a lady in town that does that. She said that I had a lady come to me and say like her daughter had just died, and then I saw her. It had been like a year later. I got a pretty good memory about this shit. Year later, I saw the same bitch saying the same story. I was like, "You're going to hell, dude." It's like I'm not much of a believer, but you're going to hell.
That's the
for
thing,
that
right?
shit.
Like pulling on people's heartstrings like that, like in a just totally ripping people off is.
I'm like, especially
rough,
like Ned said, please help my son. He is very ill. That
very
is
ill.
Like shit like that. There, you can maybe spin a yarn, but that shit's
you are adding to people just being like bitter and like jaded, where they're like don't want to help anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because whenever you see that, you're like, you motherfucker.
If somebody really needs help, I am a pretty firm believer in that you should help them if you could. You know what I mean? If you can. But it only takes a handful of those times where you're like, son of a bitch, that you're like, nah, everyone's horrible. No one really needs anything.
It can ruin you about it, right? It can make you be like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. But no, I mean I still got those corn dogs.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, old boy never looked up, never acknowledged that I was there. He was dead in the eyes. So
Alan Mitchell said, "My corn dog needs mustard bad.
I gotta have some.
Yeah, please help.
These are so dry." God, that's thank God Baxter's not here. He's been on this kick of he's got a burning question he needs to ask everyone.
Got a question for you.
And I got some answers for him today. I've thought through it. I think it was my question originally, anyways. He adopted it, but
was it that question if?
You can't even go into it. Best not. This is a family show.
If Kanye West is behind you and Donald Trump's in front of
you.
you.
Oh my God.
Are you moving? Are you moving back? Or are you moving forward?
But yeah, Johnny is so close to being a deadhead wook with his love of corn dogs and blues music. I mean, I love those things.
Deadheadism is corn dogs? Is it corn dog friendly?
I feel like it is. All right, I guess I should go open the shop. Sean's gonna see you out today because I've gotten the last few.
Look, Johnny, they're all leaving. You all. They're all logging off. They're running away. They said what?
There's a run on corn dogs down at the gas station.
We
folks.
gotta get some damn corn dogs.
I love you all.
In that guy's defense, who the hell wants a corn dog? Corn dogs. All right. Okay.
Listen, if you're digging through the trash,
you'd probably eat whatever the fuck you get.
I was like, well, it's there. It's cheap. Old Johnny doesn't have a ton of money either, so And it turns out I wasted it. But anyways,
That's right.
have a delightful week. I'll see you guys later.
Boom.
Boom.
That's right. Wooks eat mainly corn dogs and grilled cheese.
Ooh, I do love grilled cheeses.
Grilled cheese kicks, dude.
Whew, I want a grilled cheese right now.
We might have to do some Sonic today, dude.
Woo.
Sonic has a grilled cheese.
Whew. They got it great because it's Texas toast. All right, I'll get on the comments over there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some Sonic today. I think JP's gonna have to get introduced to a damn chili cheese coney. Does Eric Clapton eat corn dogs? Yes, he actually sucks on them. Yes. Okay, time to talk shit about Jonathan. Damn, Tom. Getting into this mess. Todd Roy, you showed up right at the end. It's okay. We're here to say hi. We'll be here for a few more minutes. Let's see. What other burning questions do you guys have? He is my strap at the shop. Oh, not that I know of, Lewis. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to go shake him down. You gotta come in Monday, early Monday, and he teaches on Sunday too. So if you swing down by the shop, then you can go next door and you can shake him down. You can grab that boy, throw him up against the wall, and be like, "Hey!" Which the height difference is cool because you can like lift him up and you could kiss him. Y'all don't know what this is, but it's okay. Sean alone, now nothing but Clapton talk. That's right. Tom, for some Sonic, thanks, Chewy. That's cool, man. We're gonna make some Sonic happen. How is married life? Married life is good. It's been fun. It's been an interesting couple of months, but I think we've been figuring out the groove. She just cut her hair last night. She went way off with it, but I think it looks good. She did okay. Talk about the new Gibson Raven. Actually, kind of cool. I haven't seen. Oh, is that the damn Kirk Hammett guitar? The acoustic? I think it looks cool. Okay, would you rather listen to Clapton 24/7 for life or only eat corn dogs for the rest of your life? I think I could get down with corn dogs. Because if I could listen to anything I want, it'd make the corn dogs more enjoyable. That's right. UTI, STD, or cancer? Jesus. Oh, what does it mean if you... Fuck. That's right. For like $5,000 each, all signed by Kirk. I think it's cool. I think it's something different. I feel like Kirk actually would play that too. It looks neat. I'm a sucker for all those Gibson pick guards and stuff though, so the more the merrier, and I like that it's got all that stuff going on. Did you get your SG fixed? No, but a very famous local luthier of ours, actually he's a guitar builder, and he's going back to fixing guitars. He just opened up his doors and he called us first. So I'm going to take it to him and we'll probably video that process and do it. Because I was going to take it to Gibson and then I heard that their wait time is like 16 months. I was like, oh shit. So we're gonna make it happen. Let's see. How many limited releases does Gibson do a year now? As many as you can handle. Tell him. JP's got a bat. JP, you can come sit down if you want. You wanna be on screen? You wanna be in the stream? This is our little bear Jew. Look at him. He's got a bat and everything. JP's not Jewish, he's Catholic. I'm sorry. Y'all know JP. Has she made you sleep on the couch yet? No, we're pretty good about not doing that. Even though I like sleeping on the couch, I'm kind of fucked in the head about that. Is that a Les Paul Deluxe on the wall behind you? B. Potter said, yes, it is. This is Baxter's, actually. I'll pull it down. I'm going to pull it down for you. JP, what can you tell me about this guitar?
It's a guitar made by Gibson.
It's right. Look, you're getting better at this.
That's not in tune, I can tell you that.
Yeah, no. This is Baxter's guitar. This is from the New York days. It's pretty damn cool. It's a good guitar. Highly... JP Morgan Chase in the house.
Yeah?
JP, what's new with you?
Not much.
When's the band releasing the album?
Never.
What do you mean never?
I'm tracking drums next Friday.
For what? This band's Weymouth, by the way. If you didn't know.
Tracking drums for 2 songs.
Yeah? Are we gonna put out an EP, an album? Something?
No.
It better not be a single.
It's probably gonna be the second.
What the fuck? How many singles can y'all put out?
20.
Well, apparently.
20.
Ned said, "Calm the fuck down, JB.
Oh, the
Get
bat,
excited."
The bat. I mean,
Is that one of his drumsticks?
Yeah, this is a. I guess this would probably be like a 1B.
1B?
Yeah.
You could use that as a drumstick. You better use it on that new Weymouth stuff on the album. On the album.
On the album, I get what a beer keg and just slap it with it, and this is my snare.
Sparkbrain said, "Singles are the way to go nowadays. Release everything as singles, then drop the full album." Here's my thought. Don't do that. Here's why. Okay. I get it. Everybody does that and all this shit. But also, if everybody does it, you're just going to fall into the ocean with all these other singles, right? You can do that all you want, but I think the better move, okay, is to not be as precious about it. Get more out, right? And give people the show of a lifetime. And give them an experience. You know, I think people want the experience a little bit more now than they want this single mentality of like, you know, like, I don't want to see... I don't want to see marketed branding, you know? I don't want to see fucking Nike. I want to see, like, this original thought, you know? I want to see you be passionate. Give me some heat, baby.
Well, the whole spiel is we aren't big enough to justify it.
And you never will be if you don't do it.
No, that's not true, because every single builds up more and more. It is unfortunate. It's unfortunately the game you have to play.
I don't think so.
I do.
I think you can play whatever game you want to play.
You can.
I think you can flip the chessboard on its top and do whatever you want. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't know. I just think if that's true, then why are bands like, and we'll talk local bands, Clout Chaser, why are they able to put out full albums and get the response? Bigger. Yeah, but they weren't at one point. I remember whenever they were like 2,000 and they put out an album. 2,000 followers, you know, their streams were kind of light. They just built up hype and put out a record.
They have a very unique niche. You interacted with math rock fans?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're weird. But my point is, though, is what it shows, I don't know, as I think there's something to, like, commit, you know? Commit to the bit. I think if it looks like you're playing the game too much, it's like, oh, you're just playing the game. You know?
I can't read anything from here, but it's fine. I don't need to read anything.
Here you go. Ned's got it. He said, "Fuck singles. Only release full-length prog rock concept albums."
Exactly.
That's right. You put out all the good tracks as singles, and the album has the B-sides on it.
I don't ever want to do that. That's for certain.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I wish it was not that way, but it's the world we live in now. I don't think so, man. I think if we allow ourselves to... It's the same thing with Spotify and all this shit. If you allow yourselves to, like... To just accept and put your head in the guillotine, if you will, and just be like, oh, okay, it's just what I've got to do, and let it rip. It's like, yeah, then it is. But if you go against that current... It's like... Releasing all your live shows for free and letting people bootleg and do whatever they want to with your stuff should be a negative, right? Then why for a band like King Gizzard has it created this whole entire ecosystem where their stuff lives in this greater format?
The huge amps, those R2 rocks. I can answer that. The huge amps behind the R2 rocks. This one's a Bloomfield Drive.
That's right.
I know that.
He's got it.
Because what we did, that's the one we did the members only video on. I don't know what this one is.
That's a smart bell.
Smart bell.
That's right. No one really cares, though. People just put on Spotify. I buy records when I go see bands on tour. Average playtime for new music is apparently under 30 seconds now. So, what you guys also have to do, because we're playing the game, You got to stop right in. You're writing 3-minute songs. You're getting
Yeah.
way out on the rim.
Well,
dude.
it has to be over 30
Minute-
seconds to get paid.
Oh yeah, but minute 30.
You're right.
You got to do minute 30 because nobody cares.
I mean, one band I play in does that.
minute 30.
Yeah, we got songs that are like 45 seconds.
There you go. I think that's the method, dude. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this full thought out shit.
No.
Give me 30 seconds of whatever you got. You get it.
I do.
Me personally, I like my music to be for fans. I do not expect to make much releasing music nowadays. They can have it for free for all I care. Then you also shouldn't care about singles. Like if you believe in that, and I know you do. I'm just kind of like teasing this as like good conversation. If you're believing that, then fucking let it rip, dude. Like who cares? Like if we can all admit that, right? We can all say it doesn't really matter. Then it shouldn't really fucking matter. And you should make a body of work that you're proud of. It's just my thought.
Well, you don't think I'm proud of my shit?
I think you're proud of your shit.
Okay.
I'm just saying, imagine if you made a full thing that you're proud of, and you didn't bend the knee to the single regime. You know.
It's not necessarily bending a knee. It's the same thing as what we do with the channel, I'd say.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not for what I don't do.
No, but yeah, what you want to do, but like we aren't releasing like 30, 45-minute videos that are really fleshed out.
I would do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
But
would
like,
do that in a heartbeat.
But we're not doing that for the casino guitars.
Well, yeah, because it's not my channel.
It's not my band.
I can't do whatever I want. Yeah, you can.
It's
your band.
It's a group
you're
of.
in a
it's a,
you're
it's
in
a,
a band, exactly.
It's a group of. You gotta. It's not mine. You know.
Give them the heat, JP. You walk in there with that bat and you handle it like you've been handling it this morning, I bet they'll change their minds.
Maybe.
Exactly. Get after it, boys. Even big bands like Rush. Alright, we better go so we can get to work before Baxter fires us. You don't think he has pictures before he flushes? He's proud of it. That's funny. You might be proud of it, but imagine if your parents were proud. Oh, Jesus fuck, Ned. That's bad.
What?
How about that band Wet Leg? Wet Leg kicks. Ned said something crazy.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
I can read it.
I feel like it was aimed at all of us. It's fine. I know.
Don't get fired. All right. We're calling it. You ready?
We'll see you next time. Click like, click subscribe, hit the bell, and let us know what you think. 45-minute videos coming at you soon.